else want to? Yep. We have the Reverend of the Unitarian Universalist Church.
Hello, greetings. So glad so many are here. An acorn is not an oak. An egg is not a chicken. And an embryo is not a person.
Yeah!
Woo! They lie when they say this is pro-life. It is pro-fetus. This same court allowed more guns on the streets of New York.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't care if those children get killed in school. They don't provide health care. It's not pro-life, it's pro-fetus, pro-embryo. Potential life over actual living human beings. And it can't stand.
Yep.
Woo!
Anyone else want to come up and speak?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not going to stop. This is going to go to a lot of people, a lot of different organizations, a lot of groups of people. We got to get this government out.
Hi, my name is Gail. A few years ago, I was in Washington, D.C. for the Women's March for Reproductive Rights. While I was marching, a young man in a wheelchair said to me, "Do you think my mother should have aborted me because I have a hereditary genetic problem?" And I said, yes. If she chose to have an abortion, she should have, because it was her body and her choice. And he said, "That's a really mean thing to say." I said, "My mother wanted to abort me, and she should have had the right to do so. In fact, my mother went to a back alley place to abort me. And this is a true story, people. I'm not lying to you. She went to a place, but the place was so filthy, and the man looked so sketchy, that even though she paid him the money, she ran out of there because she was afraid. And that's why I'm standing here in front of you. And I said to that man on the side of the road, who asked me should his mother have aborted him, I said to him, my mother should have had the choice to abort me. She should have been able to make that choice as a young woman facing an unwanted pregnancy, because it was her body. She should have had that decision to make for her life. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for the life I have. I'm not saying that when I was born, she mistreated me. She did. She loved me and took good care of me and raised me with a lot of affection and attention. But she didn't have a choice. And today the Supreme Court took that choice away from our daughters and our granddaughters and future generations. And we don't fight to give our girls, our young women, the same choices that we had.
Yes. Yeah.
Then it's on us.
Yeah.
We can't take it back to what my mother faced, a dirty, filthy room with a man that frightened her.
Yeah.
We can't let that happen.
Yeah.
In case it isn't obvious to you, I'm a transgender woman. And I too claim rights to my body.
Yes. Yes.
And I have used those rights so far. And my rights are just as much in jeopardy as yours and the daughters of you. We are all in their sights. Thomas,
Yes.
Justice Thomas, Injustice Thomas, included in his consent, in his words, the idea that LGBT rights, same-sex orientation rights, rights to love who you love, and live with who you choose to live, and the way you choose to live. He put all of those on the list too.
Yes.
If we don't stand together, we will not win. We have to all stand in this fight.
I do want to take a minute. I don't know if anyone here has probably a lot more education than me in terms of the Equal Rights Amendment. I recently learned about this, and I think it would be a great time to talk about it. Is anyone here very educated on the Equal Rights Amendment? Are you willing to speak about it? It is good information for us to have. Actually use this one.
All right, that was the call right there. This is an emergency. The Equal Rights Amendment, we've been fighting for this
Since before
technically
Roe.
since the late 1800s. When we first started out getting women the right to vote, that wasn't until 1920. And that wasn't for everybody. That was for the lowly white lady. Wasn't until the 70s that our black African American women were allowed to vote. So we've got a lot on the agenda. The ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment, all we want is to guarantee that our sexes are equal, that we have equal opportunities, equal in every way. And that's what the ERA is about. And every time it is brought up for a vote, it is defeated. There are some states that have their own constitutional right for women, that have equal rights. But guess where you are? North Kakalaki, and we ain't got no rights. So that's just the way that is. You've got an opportunity, and your only opportunity, girls, the only right that you have in the Constitution is the right to vote. Look it up, 19th Amendment. Other than that, we ain't nothing. We are second class, bottom of the line humans. That's where you are. Got to think about that. You've got an opportunity. How many of you here are citizens and down at like Newbern? You're a citizen of Newbern. You got an opportunity to vote coming up in a few weeks for your mayor. I want you to think about that before you vote. And I want you to get your friends out there, because I hate to say this, but we got to be Democrats. That's the way it is. You've got to be a Democrat now if you want to see change. If you want to see change that has anything to do with equality. Okay, that's all.
I do want to quickly reiterate too that the ERA has been ratified in a lot of states, but it has not been ratified in North Carolina. We are one of the few states that have not ratified the Equal Rights Amendment.
I think it was. Technically it was, yeah.
Hold on, I got one other thing to say. I want to thank Trump for directing the Department of Justice to deny the Equal Rights Amendment to be put in the Constitution. We have the 38 states necessary. We have the 38 states, but we have been denied our right to be put in the Constitution.
Well, why do we need to get it?
Vote in Democrats, because right now controlling everything in your House and or in your Senate.
It's the
It's
Senate.
the Republicans.
It's the Senate.
Yeah, it is the Senate. So you can't miss a vote. You can't sit out on a vote. You need to show up and bring 10 friends with you. Yes. All right, that's it.
Woo! Woo!
I feel like I have deja vu. I have marched and I have marched and I have marched for this and I have marched for that and I've marched for the other thing. We need to take lessons from the other party, which is organize, organize, organize. Years ago, Jerry Falwell gave speeches saying we've got to get our churches membership into politics. Well, we have to put aside our petty differences and come together because they are coming for all of us.
Yes.
So it's a matter of what's your turn. If you don't use this opportunity to organize together to change the direction this country is going in, then I want to stress how important local is, because that's where they started. They started filling school boards. They started filling councilmen, alderman seats. And if you don't think our vote election matters because it's just too small, for those of you who remember, our particular set of aldermen voted to define marriage as an act between a man and a woman. They were vocally anti-gay marriage. So your local elections do count. So early voting starts July 7th. Come out and vote. Come out and vote now. Come out and vote tomorrow. Come out and vote. Come out and vote. Come out and vote.
Every election. Every municipal, every single one. Do not miss one, because they all count. They all count, y'all. They count.
And network, if you know people that don't have a ride to the polling
them.
station
Get
or whatnot, pick them up and bring them.
Pick them up and bring
Get
them,
them
guys.
to register. A lot of
That's
people, if they don't
what
have a
my
car,
black
or if
ancestors
they're not
taught me.
able-bodied, it's hard for them to get out and do what they got to do.
That's what my black ancestors taught me. Vote for the vote, get out there and do it. All of y'all. Be there.
Lifting what she said in case you couldn't hear it. Go out and vote. Every election matters. Even our local elections matter. You need to get out there and vote, right?
Every single one.
Every single one, yes. Also, yes, how did we get the Supreme Court justices we have, right? That vote mattered, right? Between Hillary and Trump, that mattered. Because now look what we're dealing with, right? It mattered. I also just want to lift too that during this time, I am speaking as a white woman, right? This is the only thing affecting me is the discrimination that I'm facing against my bodily autonomy. But there's other factors that affect other women out there. Imagine feeling this on top of racial discrimination constantly, or not being heterosexual, right? There's so many components to this, and it's not just a white woman's struggle. We are going to continue to struggle until we get everyone, all women. I am not free, right? Until everyone is free.
Absolutely.
Right? Bands off our body. 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 Say it louder. Let's get it. Bands off our body. Bands off our body. Bands off our body. Bands off our bodies. Bands off our bodies. Love the fetus.
Hate the child.
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 Hands up. Our bodies. Hands up. Our bodies. Hands up. Our bodies. Hands up. All right, what's next?
Here, let's get Barbara back up here if we could. Can we get Barbara Gaskins back up? And let's see.
Barbara Gaskins!
Come to the podium!
When speaking of voting, thanks.
Tell us again who you are and what you're going to do.
So everyone, my name is Barbara Gaskins, and I want to thank you all so very much for exercising your vote. For those who voted, for those who did not vote, please get a chance to know me. www.barbaraforcongress.com. Find out about me. I did not ask for politics. I'm a community advocate. When it's time to come out, I'm at the rallies. Got arrested in D.C. For our voting rights last year. In the struggle. January 6th was my wake-up call. January 6th showed me that I needed to take my activism from the street and I needed to seek a seat in Congress so that our voice could be heard. So that is my goal. My goal is to get in Congress and to amplify our voice. We don't have representation in Congress, and that's what we need. So once again, November 8th, please vote for me. A couple weeks, vote for Mr. Toussaint as your mayor. Miss Hazel Royal in Ward 2. Ward 2. And just take part in your local elections, your state elections, your federal elections. Make your voice heard. This is, the consequence of us not voting. We have to amplify our voice, and voting is our way to do that. Once again, please get to know www.barbaraforcongress.com. My phone number, my campaign manager is going out giving cards. My cell phone number is on the back of those cards. So any questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to call me. I am the voice for Eastern North Carolina. Thank you.
Just a couple words. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The vote is your seat at the table. And if you're not sitting at the table, you're on the menu.
All right, y'all. Do we have anyone else who wants to come up and speak? Don't be nervous. Everyone here is with you. Yeah. Woo! Can everybody hear me? I'm a little nervous, so please show me some grace. My name is Elena, and I am a child that maybe should have been aborted. Not saying that I'm not grateful for my life, but I did grow up in a very abusive household, a very chaotic household where CPS was in and out all of the time. And then,
You got this.
It's okay.
Take your time, baby. Just go slow and take your time.
Take your time. Take your time.
when I was 4 years old, my mom went up to the person who was helping to care for me and said, "I'm pregnant. Would you help me care for the baby?" And the person who was helping my mom care for me said, "No, I don't have the capacity to help you take care of another man's child. I just can't do it." So my mom went and had an abortion. And every day, I'm so thankful to God and the universe that my mom had that option. Because considering the life that I faced as a child, I don't know what would have happened to that child who was younger than me, along with myself. I don't know where we would have ended up, maybe in circumstances that were worse than what we were in. I'm very grateful for my life, but this is my story. And that's why we have to continue to do what we're doing today. We have to vote every single election. Do not let your anger die down. Keep this going.
Yes.
Hi, I'm not scheduled or anything, but I would like to say a wasn't scheduled. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't even know how to turn this dang thing on. Can you hear me?
No.
Turn the volume up.
Somebody make it work. Thank you. A talented woman will make this work for me. Thank you. My name is Michaela Hampton. I am a suburban white Christian mother. And I am outraged. I'm a Methodist. We are radically moderate. This is extremism beyond anything that any decent culture and civilization could tolerate. We must absolutely protect the men, the women, the children in our lives from this obscene, absolutely obscene, disgusting. I don't even know if I can say that it even has credibility because it is so beyond the reach. And it takes decent people like you guys, the men, the women, who love and support and respect women. I will not be a second-class citizen, and my daughter, who has less rights than I had when I was growing up. Thank you for listening to me because I am so freaking pissed. Thank you.
Hang on. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Okay. One of the basic steps of genocide is dehumanization. Forcing people to give birth against their will, to go through the mental and physical pain of birth. And I've never been through it, but I know a lot. I come from a big family. I've seen many miscarriages. I've seen kids born early, nearly dying. I've seen healthy babies born, and I love them. I can't imagine being forced into that situation like the other woman earlier said, you know, her friend got pregnant and was going to kill herself. So if anything, she was going to take, according to these idiots voting this stuff, she was going to take 2 lives. That's not pro-life. That's pro-incubator. And I cannot imagine being forced to give birth, no matter what the circumstances were that I got pregnant, whether it was rape, whether I'm out having a good time, or taking all the precautions with my partner to try and not get pregnant, or have an ectopic pregnancy that could very well kill me or murder my chances to have children in the future. Yeah. So yeah, this is a step of dehumanization against those with uteruses. Because our trans men, brothers, are affected by this too. So yeah, this is exactly what Nazis would do. Yeah. And I just said it. Yeah. Damn right I did. Fuck these Nazis. Fuck them. Resist. Don't actually fuck them though. We don't want them breathing.
All right, who else wants to come speak? This is our space, y'all. This is our time. We can vent. We can be freaking mad.
We should march. Choice. It's choice. That's all. Choice. That's all.
Don't like abortion? Don't do it.
Don't do it. Right. You don't want
I'm
an
not
abortion?
pushing
Don't
mine
have
on somebody else. It's not my choice on somebody else.
I don't like pineapple on pizza, so I don't eat it. You don't like abortion? Don't fucking have one. Yeah. And I love pineapple on pizza. And you know what? You eat pineapple on pizza doesn't harm me.
Listen up, listen.
Next person.
Hi, I'm Maz. It's okay.
We love you, Queen.
I had an abortion, maybe a year ago. I had an ectopic pregnancy, and that was the easiest decision I've ever made in my life. That was the easiest medical decision I've ever made in my life. I realized something was wrong. I walked a couple blocks to a Planned Parenthood, and it was over within a week. And I cannot imagine that the easiest decision that I ever made was still so terrifying and so traumatizing, and that other people will have to go through that without the support and the medical help that I had. It's terrifying, and I just want people to know that there are options for you. You can find somebody to take you out of the country. You can get abortion pills by mail. You know, there are other ways, and it's just so important that we have this care and that we support each other and find ways to support each other and help each other get the care that we need, because it's already so difficult and it doesn't need to be harder.
Yeah.